All right, we're back. Part two, the AX720s compared to the Pros. All right, well, I'm just going to start off right where I left off. Um, you know what? I know, people talk about the setup on these things. We're all done talking about the sound quality and how amazing the sound quality um, is with the Pros compared to anything you ever put on your head ever in your life. Um, well, at least for 360. I mean, there's some PC gamers out there that are pretty hardcore, and I'm sure that they've got some headsets that just like will blow these out of the water. But you know what? I've never heard them. I got a box full of headphones, and these really sound probably the best that I have. But anyways, setting these things up is a little tricky. You do have this handy dandy little, inline controller, which I'm sure everybody's seen this a billion times, but I'll show it to you anyways. You can turn it up. You got your volume control, and if you press it in, it mutes everything. So that's kind of nice. Just one little press. And this side, you have your controls for your mic, your communication. You can mute. Then on the bottom, you have your 2.5 millimeter, port or whatever for your controller, and to be able to communicate your Xbox Live and that. So it has everything you need for the 360 to communicate well. Does a great job. It does it's same as the 720 as far as communicating. What I can say is this hole in the bottom, it seems to be maybe a little big, and the cable that they supply is definitely like, it's heavy duty, and it's definitely way better than the cable that they supply with the 720s. This cable, however, has 2.5 millimeters on both sides. So the 720 has 3.5, which is your standard like headphone jack on one side, and then the 2.5 on the other side that goes into your controller. This has the 2.5 on both sides, which is fine. But what happens is when you plug either one of these ends into your controller, they're just like, they almost seem like they're too small. They jiggle around in there and they fall out really easy. So you can't really move your controller around or jiggle around because this, it turns off enough to where the Xbox thinks you don't have a communicator, and it starts coming through your speakers for a second, and that's annoying. So that and it same goes for this. Here it is. That's this input or output or both. It's just these things just don't go in there and fit in there tight enough. So anytime you start moving this around, your communication gets broken up, and it happens all the time. So what I did, which works great, and I don't even know how I scored this thing, but I might have just forgot to put it in the box when I returned them. The Turtle Beach adapter here, this plugs into your controller obviously, and it has your volume control right here, and it has the 2.5 on this side that plugs in your controller. This cable here works way better than the one that the Tritton cable. So if you can get your hands on this and add this to the AXPRO setup, you're going to be in good shape. So, and this actually plugs into this box much better. Like when you plug this thing in, listen at this snap. Boom, it's in there. That thing is in there, and it's not coming out. Unless you pull it hard enough like that and it comes out when you want it to. And you plug this one in, this definitely, like, it's not, you just barely pull on this thing and it comes out. It takes almost twice the effort to take out the Turtle Beach one than it does this one. So I would definitely recommend just trying to get something like this. You could probably go on eBay. You guys know all about that crap. So definitely add that to it, and you're going to be much happier. And this definitely does not come out of the controller like the other one does. The other, you could just look at it, and at that little, I'm sure everyone knows that it just falls right out. This actually like clicks into the controller. So, and it has the volume control, which is, for me, it's a little easier to turn this up and down than to, fumble and trying to find this. I mean, it's not like it's hard to find because it's attached to your head, obviously, but sometimes it's like in your couch cushions or something. You got to get it and make sure, well, am I turning on the right side, or what's just the volume? Okay, so that's easier. One thing, let's talk about this. Things I do like about it is, obviously, is being able to control, all your individual channels. You click on it, and then you can turn it either up or down. So that's really, really slick. If you're like me, you like to just tinker with things and tweak all your settings, just give you something to do. So, there's different colors, and it tells you what they do in the back, depending on the volume level. But that I like. What I don't like, well, I like it and I don't like it. I don't know if there's any way around it, but say you have your settings all done. It just took you 2 weeks to get them all just exactly the way you like it, and your game sounds perfect. One day what you're going to do is you're going to start turning this up. You're like, you know what, I want some more sound. Because if you have this all the way up and you go to like turn, any one of the channels, here, they're all red. So say I want to like adjust this one. Well, there's only one way to go. I can't turn it up any further because they're all up to 10. So I can turn it down, which is nice. Okay, fine. So say I have, this one turned, down some. And after 3 seconds, they all turn back on. And, I think it remembers the setting when you turn it off, but probably once you unplug it, I would think that you would lose it. So you got it all set up, and you want to just turn it up. You want to crank it up. So you say, okay, I'm going to turn it all the way up. And you forget, oop, you just turned it past. So now all the channels are on 10. And when you go to turn it back down, they're all in sync. So no longer is, your front, turned down to 5 the way you like it. They're all on 10. So you have to go in there, repress this, try to, remember what colors are what, turn it down a little bit. So that, it's nice that you can kind of just quick sync them up by doing that, turning them all up or turning them all down. But there's a few times where I had it just the way I liked it, and then I turned it all the way up, and I lost the settings. When you're online playing, you're not gonna start screwing with this thing and, oh, I'm gonna turn the center down, or, well, what's it on? Okay, what's blue? Oh, okay, it's on low. So it's good and it's bad. But it's, like I said, it's got a little mute. It's got everything right there. And if you used any Tritton headsets in the past, you'll pick up on this in like 2 seconds. So yeah, I definitely like that about it. And last but not least, let's talk about this bad boy. This is your 5.1 Dolby box. It's a true processor. This thing is doing some business. I wish this thing had a little like a little LED or LCD, something on this thing. It's got LEDs, but if it had like a little LCD screen that told you what number things were set to, it would make it, I would pay extra for something like that. I know they're trying to just cut costs and just make things affordable, but come on, really? It's an extra $10 when you just spend 160. So yeah, you have your volume control, you have your dynamic